Ryan Gosling stars in a brand new sci-fi space film called Project Hail Mary. It's in cinemas across the UK from March 20th. I've already seen it, so let's talk about it. Yo, hey, welcome back to the video, a brand new movie review. So I'm talking all about Project Hail Mary. It's new across cinemas in the UK from March 20th. I've managed to catch it at a preview screening the weekend just gone. Before we start talking about it, as always, a friendly reminder, these are just my thoughts. Don't let this dictate whether or not you go and see it. You might see it, feel totally different to me. That's okay, movies aren't made to cater for everyone. Without any further ado, on this very sunny day, which has just lifted my mood, let's start talking about this film. And first off, I quite like Ryan Gosling as an actor. I think he's a pretty good actor. I enjoy the stuff that he's been in. I think my favourite role that he's ever done is Ken. Maybe that's bias, maybe that's basic. I don't care. I loved him as Ken. But I also liked him in The Fall Guy and stuff like this, the more recent stuff that he's done. I think he's a really good actor, I'm not going to lie. And he was exceptional in this, I thought. I thought he was an exceptional actor. I thought the casting for this film was great. I thought the fact that he was cast as this guy, I think he really suited this character extremely well. At the very start, we get introduced to this character, and I'm like, is that Ryan Gosling? Doesn't look anything like Ryan Gosling. It's like, I don't know. And I think it was a mix of the makeup and the costume and him. All three of those kind of factors combined. I was like, wow. Like, he looks like a totally different person. And that just goes to prove kind of how good his acting is. But also how insanely talented these costume and makeup teams that often go unnoticed. Like, to pull that off and me as an audience to go, is that Ryan Gosling? Yeah, it is. I'm like, that is commendable. But this film is great. I enjoyed it, and I'm going to sound quite negative, so I'm going to put it out there when I say that this is a good film, and I had a good time with it, and I did like it, and I enjoyed it much more than I thought I would. I like the concept of it. Like, I did really like this film. However, this film is just short of 2 hours and 40 minutes. And for you that have watched any of my other movie reviews, you'll know I don't gel with long movies. I find it so... because I have to sit through it, and it's not that I don't have a good attention span. I don't know. I like a short, sweet film. A 90-minute, an hour and 45 are like the sweet spots. Long films, I feel like I've done the film, but there's still an hour left, and I'm like, what? I don't gel well with them. It's not a thing on this film. It's just generally, there are very few long films that I can really sit through and enjoy. I think the last memorable long film was the first Wicked film, which I think is a similar runtime to this movie. And that was the only film that I kind of thought, yeah, I can sit through this. But yeah, so it's just... I did feel at times we were filling in time, and we were just extending a runtime for whatever reason. That's my one flaw. But I enjoyed this. There's loads of elements of comedy throughout this film in places that you don't necessarily expect it to. And the jokes are actually funny. They land and they do make you laugh. The whole cinema were laughing at the correct times. Like, it was good. And there are moments which are kind of like funny in the fact that it's just stupid. It has that nice kind of divide between senses of humour, which I really appreciated. So that's a great thing. And we feel so much emotion for a rock. I love it. I'm obsessed. Rocky is a diva. Hashtag love Rocky. Hashtag Rocky should rule the world. Hashtag I want to be BFFs with Rocky. That's what I'm saying. I also really quite enjoyed the way that they told this story. There have been other films that have done it recently. I can't think... I think Good Luck Have Fun Don't Die did it in a similar way as well, but not necessarily the same as the way Project Hail Mary has done with it. But we started kind of... It's hard to explain. But we have the start, like before the mission. And then we have the mission has finished, but we're not at the end. Does that make sense? So there's the start, there's the end of the mission, here's the end. I'm looking at myself in the camera, and this is such a weird description. Anyway, there's the start of the film, well, the start of the story. That's the end of the mission, and then this is the end of the story. We started here, we started here. There's the start, but we started here. Here's the end. So throughout the film, the two stories kind of merged until we met at the very end and then finished the story together. Does that make any sense? Probably not. I don't know. But I did like it. We were kind of going backwards and forwards, and it was sort of a, right, so here's this part of the story, then let's jump. But the jumps were noticeable. You weren't watching it going, oh, hold on, now we're here. And like, it wasn't that. It was, you knew where we were. And it's very self-explanatory. It's not complex to understand. But this is a good film. I enjoyed it. It does what it says on the tin. It's a sci-fi space cool film. I don't believe, well, I'd say there are aspects of this film which could be considered predictable, but I wouldn't say necessarily this is a predictable film in the sense of, you know, exactly where it's going. I wouldn't argue that. It's pretty wholesome. It has some wholesome moments. It has some funny moments. It has some moments. And it has some really, really cool, visually stunning moments as well. It's a great film. It is a great film. I do feel like I have been harsh on it, but, you know, at the end of the day, not every film is made for everyone, and I know I enjoyed it, but by no means is it like a film that I've absolutely adored. Do you know what I mean? So, anyway, there's my thoughts on Project Hail Mary. It's in cinemas across the UK right now. No, it's not. That's a lie. That's an absolute lie. It's in cinemas across the UK from March 20th, which is in like 2 days. So, basically right now. Before we wrap up this movie review though, as always, watch rate out of 10. Will it join my collection? I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I enjoyed. Will it join the collection? Maybe. It's not a solid yes. It's not a solid no. I feel like because it's so long, I have no real desire to like want to sit through it again. Just because it's long. And I don't know. I maybe need to get over this like fake bullshit of not liking long films because, well, it's not fake, it's real, but I should just get over the bullshit of not liking long films. But yeah, I can see myself having it in my collection, but it's also not one that I'm like, yeah, I want it in my collection. Does that make sense? Anyway, there you go. Like I say, my thoughts on Project Hail Mary in cinemas across the UK from March 20th. In the description below is the movie plot, a link to the movie trailer, as well as a link to my movie review playlist. It features every single movie review that I've ever done. More to come soon, including Picture House's brand new movie called Arco. I'm seeing that at an unlimited screening tonight. You'll hear my thoughts on that very soon. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in another video and hopefully another movie review very soon.